Starting my 5 minutes now, I'd like to talk with you about the newly announced independent contractor rule, Administrator Looman. By the way, how many pages is that rule?
Congressman Kiley, I am not sure.
I think it's like about 330. Does that sound about right?
Congressman Kiley, that's very possible.
Okay, so under this new independent contractor rule, would licensed real estate agents, would they be classified as employees or independent contractors?
So, Congressman Kiley, as you know, the independent contractor rule lays out a multi-factor, six-factor test.
Sure, and my time's limited, so I'm asking you about a specific example. Just take your typical real estate agent, classic arrangement with a brokerage. Are they an employee or an independent contractor here?
So, Congressman Kiley, the independent contractor rule helps provide guidance under the Fair Labor Standards Act, which requires that employees get minimum wage and overtime, and that
okay, you're giving me generalities,
don't.
And you're avoiding my specific question. Under the rule that you just announced, 330 pages for the 2 million real estate agents in America, is there an answer in there as to whether they're employees or independent contractors?
So, Congressman Kiley, as has always been the case under the Fair Labor Standards Act, it is a fact-based analysis as it relates to that individual worker and how they're performing work for their employer.
Okay, I'm just talking about the classic arrangement of a real estate agent who's sponsored by a brokerage. Would that classic arrangement, take for example, everyone who's exempted by AB 5 in California, would those folks qualify as independent contractors or as employees under the rule that you just announced?
So, Congressman Kiley, again, the rule that we just announced is a reflection of longstanding guidance as well as judicial precedent of what it means to be an employee.
Well, good. Then it should be
or
easy to
independent
answer. Can you tell me whether real estate agents are employees or independent contractors under your new rule?
So, Congressman Kiley, real estate agents who are in business for themselves would continue to be considered independent contractors under the new rule.
Okay. How about truckers, independent owner-operators? Are they independent contractors or employees under the new rule?
So again, Congressman Kiley, the requirement is that workers who are in business for themselves are independent contractors under the Fair Labor Standards Act, and workers who are economically dependent on their employer are employees.
I see.
And
So let me
get the
give you an
protections of the
example.
law.
Let's say that I'm a writer and I publish for Vox and I publish for the San Francisco Chronicle and I publish for a variety of local papers. Am I an employee or an independent contractor under your rule?
So again, Congressman Kiley, it would depend on the facts of that individual relationship.
I just gave you the facts.
And it's a six-factor analysis. It has always been a six-factor analysis as it relates to the judicial precedent and the long-standing guidance of the Department of Labor.
Okay, so you're the person who came up with the rule. It's 330 pages, and you can't tell me here some basic examples of standard professions that millions of people have, how they qualify. How is anyone supposed to make heads or tails out of this?
So, Congressman Kiley, again, thank you for the question, because what we did in the regulation as well as in the small business guide is that we provided examples of how each of the six factors could apply and indicate an independent contractor or an employee for purposes of helping with the analysis.
Okay, so could you apply
under
those
the Fair Labor
examples to the
Standards Act.
hypothetical I just gave you? Is that an employee or an independent contractor for a writer like that?
So again, sorry, Congressman Kiley, it would depend on the analysis of the six factors to that individual worker and the work that they're performing.
I see, and who's doing that analysis?
Congressman Kiley, the guidance that we put out in the regulation is to help employers do that analysis. And then we also, as we've discussed earlier today, we're very much looking for misclassification in our cases when it may have deprived a worker of receiving minimum wages or
In fact,
overtime.
yes, you gave us some examples of the work that your agency has done to address misclassification and the recoveries you've gotten to address misclassification. To be clear, you're doing that under the rule of the prior administration. Is that correct?
So, Congressman Kiley, again, we are doing this under the longstanding guidance as well as the information in compliance with
But no.
all
My question is,
regulations.
you are touting your success in going after unscrupulous employers who are misclassifying workers. You're doing that without this new rule that you just announced, correct?
Congressman Kiley, we are very much focused on addressing misclassification, and
Could
we
you
are
just
doing
answer my
that
question?
under the standards.
You've
that
been
we are
able to
currently-
get judgments and recoveries for misclassification without this new rule, correct?
So, Congressman Kiley, we continue to look at misclassification, and this rule is to continue
The answer
to
is
help.
yes. So the reason you're stating for having this rule apparently is not needed. The rule isn't needed because you're already able to pursue these cases. Are you aware of the opposition that the freelance community has to this rule in the form of a lawsuit and many comments to the rulemaking process?
Congressman Kiley, I am aware of that.
And so why do you think it is that they oppose this rule so much?
So Congressman Kiley, again, I think that one of our responsibilities is to continue to do outreach and education to make sure that freelancers who are in business for themselves understand they are protected by this rule.
Yes, and so my time is expired, so I just want to leave you with that question and give you one more chance. Based on your conversations with all these folks who say that this is going to threaten our livelihood, they've submitted comments, they've filed a lawsuit. Why do you think they are opposed to this rule that you just announced? What's your best understanding of that?
So Congressman Kiley, I very much look forward to the opportunity to continue to talk with freelancers and other small business owners to make sure that they understand that this rule protects them in their ability to be in business for themselves.
The gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Good, is recognized.